You've been carrying noise for so long you've forgotten what silence feels like. Not the silence of an empty room, but the silence of a quiet mind. The constant stream of other people's opinions, the endless scroll of information, the voices in your head replaying old conversations, rehearsing future ones, analyzing every decision. It's exhausting. And beneath all that noise, there's a voice trying to reach you. A voice that has the answer to the question you haven't even been able to articulate yet. But you can't hear it because you never stop moving, never stop consuming, never stop filling every gap with sound. And that ends now. What you're about to receive requires something from you that most people refuse to give. Stillness. Real stillness. The kind that makes you uncomfortable because when everything goes quiet, you finally have to face what you've been running from. Let me be very direct about why this matters right now. You are standing at a threshold. You feel it, even if you can't name it. There's a decision forming, a shift happening, a clarity trying to break through. But clarity doesn't come in chaos. It comes in silence. And the reason you haven't received the answer you're desperate for is because you haven't created the conditions for it to land. You're asking God, the universe, your higher self, for guidance while simultaneously drowning out the response with noise. It's like praying for rain while holding an umbrella. The rain is falling. You're just blocking it from reaching you. You need to understand something that will change how you approach every important decision for the rest of your life. Divine communication is not loud. It doesn't compete with other voices. It doesn't shout over distractions. It whispers, and whispers can only be heard in silence. This is why the mystics, the prophets, the people who actually heard from God with clarity, they all withdrew. Not forever, not as a rejection of community.
Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life, a guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming, with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10,000 readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who were tired of living in the fog, ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.
But as a regular practice, they understood that if you want to hear the voice that matters most, you have to eliminate the voices that matter least. And in this modern world, the voices that matter least are everywhere. They're in your pocket, they're in your feed, they're in your earbuds, they're in your head on a loop. And until you silence them, you will never hear the voice that's been trying to reach you. Before I take you into what happens when you actually get still and what you're likely to hear when you do, I need you to subscribe to this channel right now. The information coming through here is not random content to fill your day. It's a specific sequence for people who are being called deeper, who are ready to move past surface-level spirituality into actual encounter. Hit that like button so this reaches others who are desperate for clarity but don't know that silence is the price. And when you recognize yourself in what I'm about to say, drop the word listening in the comments. That simple declaration is you saying, I'm done with the noise. I'm ready to hear. Let me show you what this looked like for someone who had to learn this lesson the hard way. Elijah had just experienced one of the most dramatic victories of his prophetic career. He called down fire from heaven. He defeated hundreds of false prophets. He proved God's power in front of an entire nation. And then he ran. He fled into the wilderness, collapsed under a tree, and wanted to die. The high of the miracle was followed by a devastating crash. And in that crash, alone in a cave, God met him. God met, but not in the way Elijah expected. There was a powerful wind that tore the mountains apart, but God was not in the wind. There was an earthquake, but God was not in the earthquake. There was a fire, but God was not in the fire. And then, after all the dramatic displays, there was a gentle whisper. a still small voice, and that's where God was, in the whisper. Elijah had to go through the noise, the drama, the chaos, to finally get quiet enough to hear what God actually wanted to say to him. And what God said in that whisper redirected his entire ministry. The clarity he needed didn't come in the thunder. It came in the silence. Here's what you need to grasp. The noise in your life is not just external, it's internal. Your mind is constantly generating commentary, analysis, judgment, fear, planning, replaying. And most of that internal noise is not helpful. It's not wisdom. It's not guidance. It's just your ego trying to maintain control by staying busy. The ego hates silence because silence reveals that the ego is not in charge. When everything goes quiet, when you stop feeding the mental loops, you start to access something deeper, a knowing that doesn't come from logic or analysis, a certainty that rises up from your core. This is the voice you've been looking for, but you can't hear it while your mind is running at full speed. Think about Moses. He was tending sheep in the wilderness, doing ordinary work in a quiet place, when he saw something unusual, a burning bush that wasn't being consumed. He could have kept walking. He could have dismissed it as a trick of the light or the heat, but he stopped. He turned aside to look, and the moment he gave his full attention to what was calling him, God spoke. Take off your sandals. You're standing on holy ground. The encounter that changed Moses' life, that revealed his calling, that set the trajectory for the liberation of an entire nation, it happened in a quiet place. Away from the cities, away from the noise, away from the demands of other people. If Moses had been scrolling through notifications or distracted by a dozen other things, he would have missed the burning bush entirely. The voice that changed everything required his undivided attention. Turn your notifications on right now. Click that bell. The messages coming through this channel are going to walk you through the exact process of creating sacred silence in your life and recognizing divine communication when it comes. This is not theory. This is practice. You can't afford to miss it. Here's what happens when you actually create space for silence. The first thing you'll notice is discomfort. Your mind will rebel. It will generate 1,000 reasons why you need to check your phone, respond to that message, finish that task. This is resistance. This is your ego trying to keep you distracted because it knows that silence is dangerous to its control. Push through the discomfort. Sit with it. Don't reach for the distraction. Just breathe and stay present. The discomfort will pass, and on the other side of it is clarity. The second thing you'll notice is that old emotions start to surface. Grief you've been avoiding, anger you've been suppressing, fear you've been outrunning. This is why most people don't get quiet. Silence forces you to feel what you've been numbing. But here's the truth. Those emotions need to be felt. They need to move through you. And they can't do that if you're constantly distracting yourself. The silence creates space for the processing to happen. And once those emotions move through, once you stop running from them, you'll find a peace underneath them that you didn't know was possible. The third thing you'll notice is that answers start to come. Not always immediately, not always in the form you expect, but after you've sat in silence long enough, after you've stopped demanding and started listening, clarity arrives. Sometimes it's a sudden knowing. Sometimes it's a memory that recontextualizes everything. Sometimes it's a simple next step that you hadn't considered before. But it comes, and when it comes, you'll recognize it because it won't feel forced or manufactured. It will feel like remembering something you always knew but had forgotten. Let me give you another example. Jesus, before every major decision, before every significant moment in his ministry, withdrew to a solitary place to pray. Before choosing the 12 disciples, he spent the entire night alone on a mountain. Before facing the cross, he went to the Garden of Gethsemane and prayed in such agony that he sweat drops of blood. He didn't make decisions in the chaos of the crowds. He made them in the silence of solitude. And the clarity he received in those moments of withdrawal gave him the strength to face what was coming. If Jesus, who was divine, needed silence to hear the Father clearly, how much more do we need it? If you haven't shared this message yet, do it now. Send it to someone who's overwhelmed, who's desperate for answers but can't seem to hear them. Sharing isn't about the channel. It's about creating a culture where silence is valued, where people understand that the most important conversations happen when you stop talking and start listening. Here's what you need to do practically. Set aside time every day for silence, not music, not podcasts, not guided meditations with someone else's voice in your ear. Just silence. Start with 5 minutes if that's all you can handle. Sit somewhere you won't be interrupted, turn off your phone, close your eyes, and just breathe. Don't try to force anything. Don't analyze or strategize, just be present. Just listen, your mind will wander, that's normal. When you notice it wandering, gently bring it back to your breath. Back to the present moment, back to listening. You also need to eliminate unnecessary noise from your life. This doesn't mean becoming a hermit. It means being ruthless about what you allow into your mental space. Unfollow accounts that create anxiety or comparison. Stop listening to podcasts that fill your head with other people's opinions before you've had time to form your own. Turn off the news that's designed to keep you in a state of perpetual outrage. Create boundaries around your attention. Protect your mental space like it's sacred, because it is. What you consume shapes what you think, and what you think shapes what you hear when God speaks. Another practice: ask a question before you enter the silence. Not a vague, "what should I do with my life" question, but something specific. What is the next step I need to take in this situation? What is the truth about this relationship? What am I avoiding that I need to face? Ask the question and then release it. Don't sit there demanding an answer. Just ask, release, and listen. The answer will come when you're ready to receive it. You also need to understand the difference between solitude and isolation. Solitude is a chosen practice of withdrawal for the purpose of connection with God. Isolation is an avoidance of people because of fear or pain. Solitude refreshes you. Isolation depletes you. Solitude leads to deeper relationships because you're coming from a full place. Isolation leads to loneliness because you're hiding. Know the difference. Practice solitude regularly. Refuse isolation as a lifestyle. Let me take you to one more story. Hannah was barren and desperate for a child. She went to the temple to pray, and her prayer was so intense, so deeply personal, that the priest thought she was drunk. But she wasn't performing for an audience. She wasn't praying the polite, sanitized prayers people pray when others are listening. She was pouring out her soul in raw, honest desperation, and God heard her. Not because her prayer was eloquent, but because it was real. And real prayers, the ones that come from the deepest part of you, can only happen in privacy, in silence, away from the eyes and ears of people who might judge or misunderstand. The breakthrough Hannah received came because she had the courage to get alone with God and be completely honest. Here's what I want you to do right now. After you finish this video, don't immediately move to the next thing. Don't scroll. Don't check your messages. Sit in silence for at least 5 minutes. Just 5. And in that silence, ask yourself, what have I been avoiding hearing? What truth am I running from? What answer have I been begging for but refusing to create space to receive? Ask it, sit with it, and see what rises. The voice you're looking for is not lost. It's been speaking the whole time. You've just been too busy to hear it, too distracted, too surrounded by noise. But when you create the space, when you get still, when you stop filling every moment with sound, the clarity you've been desperate for will find you. Not because it's been hiding, but because you finally stopped running long enough to let it catch up. The next video on this channel is going to break down the specific types of divine communication you might receive in silence and how to discern the difference between your own thoughts, your ego's voice, and the actual voice of God. You cannot miss that. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on. You didn't stumble into this message by accident. You're here because the noise has become unbearable, and some part of you knows that the answer you need is waiting in the silence. You've been asking for direction, for clarity, for a sign. But the sign has been there all along. It's just been drowned out by everything else you've been listening to. The invitation is simple. Get quiet, get still, create space, and listen. Not for a voice outside of you, but for the voice within you that's been trying to guide you all along. It knows the way. It has the answer. It's been speaking, you just need to finally get quiet enough to hear it. The clarity is waiting. The answer is ready. The voice is speaking. All that's missing is your willingness to silence everything else long enough to listen.
Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life, a guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming, with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10,000 readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you, who were tired of living in the fog, ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.